Thank you for joining me. This is Matthyw Myth, also known as Matthew Forbes, and as of 2016, Minister Matthew Forbes. I know that there is some concern over the upcoming Total Solar Eclipse, and I found amongst my golden scrolls, which is writings that I curated over the past 15 years, that seemed to be a mixture of, you could say, divine inspiration, poetic intuition. Not much of my imagination was used, and I mean that in the good way. If you're going to write a story, use your imagination. If you're going to give a speech, use your imagination. But if you're going to breathe life into poetry and take it to the next level, that's what they call the epic poetry, which is something that is not just meant to be poetry as in unlocking your mind or opening the doors or gateways of our experience, but on a deeper level, it's about opening yourself to being a channel. I wouldn't say that I necessarily wrote these poems as I would write a poem that I wrote for the English class. You could say these poems are something that came out of me, and over the years I read them and I express them to listeners because certain ones have particular meanings throughout points of life and time and space. And I was seeing how much concern people have for this event coming up on April 8th, 2024. And I found a prayer, you could say, because poetry is a way of explaining words that might not have meaning to some people, that might have deeper meaning to others. And I used to say that out of a fear, you could say, because I didn't want to admit that what I was making, what I was co-creating with the divine within me and channeling and being the messenger of, opening up my light and dark self to come together to formulate these prayers and poems and such. And so I went through my golden scrolls recently, knowing that the time is coming, and I feel that it's my duty as a writer. The person that loves to write in me was the person that was open to these happening. The poet inside of me, the years of writing and reading gave me the depth of visualization to use. And the latent minister inside of me is what was able to channel and to later understand how there are so many different parts to each one of us, and it takes time and craft, whatever that might be, whatever you're an artisan in, whether it be your speech, the work you do daily, the work you do with your hobbies, the things that you do with your heart, the way you talk to people, the way you care for animals. Those are the things that truly matter. So take a moment and sit back, maybe even close your eyes, get into a relaxed state of mind. One thing I know about humans is that you see people on, YouTube and TikTok and all those places, and they are, in a sense, giving these warnings. Beware of the total solar eclipse coming. But a lot of that is, we know when you lend your energy to something that you co-created. Now, it's possible that unconsciously, in their good intention to warn us, some people are in a sense also creating a pathway for us to be okay with something. It's not unlikely that at the time that we expect something cataclysmic to happen, that there is something that happens, and it might not be naturally based. It might be a controlled effort at that time for a purpose. I mean, what better way to slip under the radar? Conspiracy or not, that word is just a word used to disenfranchise, is that the right word? For, break down people who seriously care about themselves and life and others' lives. So I feel it's important that if you have something to share, that you share it. But at the same time, I said, I'm not here to give warnings after what I've studied and read about what's to come and what the possibilities are. They're only theories, whether it be, from The Simpsons or Nostradamus or any of those other figures or random YouTube creators. I felt as an artist, it's important to express these things, but more importantly, I felt as a minister, it's time to step up and pray. And prayer can be in any shape and form that you conceive of. Speaking to yourself in the mirror can be prayer, speaking to others is prayer. So we have to be careful because all things become prayer. So let's now go into listening and praying mode. Let us be open to letting love eclipse our hearts. Or I think there's a song, something about that, right? Let's open ourselves up to the Lord of ourselves, the dominion that we share, that we are these vessels, and there is a breath of spirit within us. If you don't believe that, that's fine. You can tune out. You can believe whatever you want. Go watch some TV, whatever. We all do those things. We're all human. We all engage in similar things, right? But one thing we don't do enough of, and maybe it's time to relearn how to pray. So this is a poem that has turned into a prayer that I'd like to read to you, that I feel is important to our time right now. So sit back, relax, and let's fall into the light. Here beneath the skylight, we present a gift, the sword of the sun and the cup of the moon. It is your time to choose the fountain of youth. Reflected in the river of hours, you are your beautiful. Within the wings of love is our memory we hold tight. When the sun sinks, we welcome the moonlight. But there is no sleep in sight, no more good morning or good night. There's only a dark and a light. Shut off your mind, close your eyes, and come alive. With no rhyme or reason, no time or season, my nature is calling me. Bleed all of your wisdom. Her nature is falling on me. It is you that I value. Love is the price of youth, a peaceful piece of truth. It was the life of love, the love of life, that stuck to me. Wander never too far from yourself, only of you, be beautiful. You are your youth. We are the children of imagination. We are the children who are kept under heavenly hues. Here we are hand in hand. My land is where I stand. Sources say a clear spring will bring the evergreen. How will you change your ways? if you don't listen to what you say? I'll say that again. How will you change your ways if you don't listen to what you say? How will you live to see another day if you don't listen to what you say? The snake's eyes are green and bright, just as the life of your TV screens. Dance on the edge and start the fire, flames of desire. Dance with your friends to dangerous early hour. The end will speak for itself. You are nothing without your machines. Look up now. It's the end of fear and doubt. Did you ever think the death of you would be so beautiful? Taking parts of my heart, but I am not lost to you. A government playing God, temptation and higher power. Children sent to slaughter, foolish fear, a divorce from nature, animal and spirit. Fear it or feel it. The city is a gateway to hell, the meadow a path to wealth. Too much temptation with little separation. Fear it or feel it, my animal spirit. The ego created cancer and ignorance causes illness. The government needed God to support their monster financial fraud. Your name, a corporate contract, taking our freedom to act. Fear it or feel it. You have the animal spirit. That was a reading of The Children of Imagination. And now I would like to read a closing prayer titled The Ceremony and Celebration. Everything has its time, but wisdom is eternal. All that I know, fun is good for the soul. Do not worry, this is the century of wisdom. A celebration with every changing sun, the best destination for every situation. Drink from the wisdom, my friends, your thoughts make certain. Tomorrow direct your destiny. Tonight surrender of belief is necessary. Return to surrender. Join us, join me in this, our community of creativity. Tonight we celebrate a ceremony of the soul. Every story inside must be told far and wide. The story you hold must be told. We must have our fun before we get old. To live after the setting sun is gold. No longer overwhelmed by wonder, we can only love one another. Offer cheer and be aware. Give what is there. I have it here. Love that is near. Forgive your fears. Today we are here. Tomorrow it becomes clear. This was the second day, the first night of my life. I took my lover outside. The lights were alive, the color within our eyes. With my mind looking back on time, I tried to find the spot where we first made love. These life ideas for a film, living for a look, memory only took its time, away from me, out of sight and out of reach, but in my mind you are right beside me. Today you are here, tomorrow it becomes clear. Be aware and hold prayer. Be true, be you, be here and now.